Hey guys, this is Obi from Los Angeles here. This lesson is for week 3 of the Introduction to Music Production at Coursera, and for this assignment I'm going to demonstrate how to use pre and post sends in the DAW. I'm going to kind of elaborate on some of the class notes and for an example show you how that can be used for sort of a dub reggae echo effect. So in the lectures we learned that there's basically two ways of tapping a send return signal. You have the pre and the post fader. So in Ableton Live, which I'm using, that setting is located here. So this is my send channel, and then I can click either post or pre depending on how I want to tap that signal. So obviously the post signal would be getting the signal after the fader, so the signal that this send gets depends on what the level of the fader is, and if it's set to pre, that's just going to bypass that fader signal altogether, so we'll just get that signal cleanly without going through the fader. So we also heard a few examples of why this is useful to have. Usually Reverb uses a post fader send, and the post is also the default on most DAWs, because then the level of reverb can be defined based on the fader. So if I turn the fader up, it would also increase the level of reverb naturally on the track, in the same way if I turn it down. But if you turn the signal down all the way, like right now this is totally attenuated, then you won't get any signal into the effect, into the send channel, and that's actually what I want to demonstrate today. So we also heard in lecture that pre-sends are useful if you want to create an independent monitor mix, because then you can have this coming before the fader to a separate monitor channel. But one other thing you might want to do is kind of create a reggae effect where the sound kind of bounces around. So what I have loaded here is I have two songs. They're the same song, but this first one in channel 1 is a vocal version, and the second one is an instrumental version. So what I want to do then is play this instrumental version on track 2, and then just kind of cut in quick snippets of the vocal version and have that sent to my send, where I can manipulate that with this reverb echo plugin. So first of all, before I try this, let me turn off the second instrumental version, and I'm just going to show you the difference of if my signal is totally attenuated and I can't hear any of the vocal version. If I turn up a send, I want to show you the difference between what happens if I do that with a pre or post send. So let me start with the post send. I'm going to start the track, and then I'm going to turn up the send A volume and see what happens. So as you can see, there's not really anything going on. No signal is making it to the send because the volume is all the way down on the fader for track 1. So now if I set this to pre, I'm going to start the track over again, and now if I turn up the send, you'll see that we do get some sound, because now this is actually independent of the fader. So if I turn up the send, even if the fader is all the way down, I still get some information going through that send. So since that's the case, I can have some effects like the old school effect, where I play this second track and then I can just cut in little bits of a time of track 1 to create sort of a dub reggae sound.